Well, first of all, I got to say something, man. We got some idiots, some fools, some jackasses on television that really just piss me off. Talking about Josh should make a stand saying he didn't break any laws. He didn't do anything wrong. We're in a state where you can carry your gun. Those guys are just freaking idiots.
My boy Charles Barkley ain't holding back, man. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get you one of these 2 gender shirts. Just put in 2 genders. I believe the discount code is still available. Just put in 2 genders, and you will get a discount on the store. 2 genders. You got to spell it out. Not like this, but just spell out 2 genders, the number 2 genders, and you get a discount on the store. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you can get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. And ladies, I just want you to hit, ladies and gentlemen, not just ladies. Hey, no, hey. I want y'all to hit the like button, so that we can get the algorithm up on this particular video. Now, I have to say this, Ja Morant, I made a video about Ja Morant the other day. I know a lot of people may not think it's important to talk about Ja Morant or maybe not know who he is, but the subject and what we're discussing and the issues with our society is what's more important. Ja Morant is just a part of the bigger issue. Now, Ja Morant, multiple times that he got in trouble for waving a gun, flashing a gun, that got a $200 million contract. And he throwing it away on IG Live, flashing guns in his car like he a gang member. Bro, you ain't thugging. You making $200 million. You ain't thugging no more. If you was, stop thugging. Hire a whole, what they call it? I can't think of it. I would say the barricade, but it's not. Motorcade. You can have a whole motorcade, bro. Follow you everywhere you go with the amount of money that Ja Morant is making. But that's not what the video is about. The video is about 2 losers defending Ja Morant, and then my boy Chuck coming through with the hot sauce like he always do. Let me play the clip from this one guy. What's his name? I used to like him. I thought he was a conservative. But now that boy weaker than a lollipop stick. What's his name, Nick? This dude, JJ Reddick. I thought he was cool. He smashed on one of these woke black football player activists who was trying to push racism.
It's an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, that they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins.
But now he looked like this dude's so trash to me. Every time I get excited about a conservative person, they just turn out to be whack. Listen to what this fool said about Ja Morant. Listen to what he said. And I liked him. I made a video and I thought he was great. I wanted to interview him. Now I'm like, bro, you too smart to be saying something this dumb. Okay.
Again, we can go into the backstory of the incident with the teenager. Ja's claiming self-defense, that the teenager threw the ball in his face. We can go into the incident at the mall when he yelled at his security guard. We can go into the incident with the Indiana Pacers traveling party. As far as we know, all of these things have been investigated and no law has been broken. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying there should be no punishment. There should be. There should be consequences. You are the face of the league. You are representing the NBA. You are a role model to young kids. All of that. I don't think half a season is the right answer.
Now, watch what he say after this. He kind of tried to keep it together, but then his inner wussy came out. And now he got to say this about guns. Now, no disrespect. And if this man saw this video, don't take it personal, bro. This is my opinions about what you said. And I think that as a man that is intelligent, that have the ability to do research, and you come out and you go soft because you're afraid of what people are going to think about you, or you're too ignorant to understand the truth about guns, roll the clip.
And the last point I want to make is you bring this up, the guns on social media. We talk about consequences. Look, in our country right now, gun culture is pervasive. It's pervasive. We've got mass shooting after mass shooting, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it.
The last time I checked, the last person that did a mass shooting took one to the skull. The one before that got blasted as well. What you mean we're not doing nothing about it? A lot of times when they doing these mass shootings, they end up RIP. What you mean we're not doing nothing about it? What are you even saying, bro? What do you want us to do about it? It's over 100 million guns in the country, and one person do something, and we ain't doing nothing about it. You can't be this dumb. Let me play the clip because I want to get to my boy Charles Barkley.
So I get why we're so sensitive to this right now. But there's no consequence for Greg Abbott telling his constituents that they should go buy more guns, and then we have mass shooting after mass shooting in Texas.
Yeah, I would love to confront him face to face about what he said. What did Greg Abbott got to do with Ja Morant waving a gun like an idiot or having a gun in a strip club? Ja Morant waving a gun like he a thug and a gangbanger. Let me tell you this, gun violence in the inner city pertaining to character traits like Ja Morant is more pervasive than school shootings. But see, listen, white man, or whatever you are, you might ain't white. You don't know what you're talking about. You are listening to CNN or somebody tell you something stupid and you reiterating it. If you really cared about gun pervasive behavior, you would talk about the murder of black people by black people in the inner city that supersedes by far school shootings. But see, you can't say that because you on here simping. You got to simp for the black man. You already done got in trouble by black folks because you went off on the other one. So now you got to simp and find a way to try to meet common ground with so they don't get mad at you again. How you going to talk about school shooting and don't talk about inner city violence? Ja Morant is doing inner city violence behavior, not school shooting behavior. And you bring up Greg Abbott, but you don't bring up a Lori Dirtyfoot and these other fools in Chicago with policies that are killing young men. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm going to get to Charles.
There's no consequence for an elected Tennessee official to send out a Christmas card holding AR-15s with his young family, and then there's a shooting in his very district.
A congressman having the guns with his family because we have what we call, hey, listen, Semper, we have what we call the Second Amendment. And in his district, that probably has millions of people, and you have one shooting out of millions of people with guns. One shooting in his district, and all of a sudden he should be blamed for legally and safely having a picture with his family, observing his God-given right. He ain't flashing his gun in the club like Ja Morant. Okay.
There's no consequences to that. So why are we trying to lay down the hammer on a 23-year-old who didn't break a law?
Boy, that boy panties. I see his panties ruffling up. 40-game suspension ain't laying down a law. Bro, you represent the NBA. 40-game suspension, you got a $200 million contract. 40 games ain't to his pocketbook. Laying down the law? All right, I got to move on to another idiot. Then Charles is coming, I promise. Y'all just hold on. Charles Barkley is coming. I want you to listen to this nut. Him and his homeboy called me a B on IG. He sent me an inbox. I'm like, boy, these dudes, I don't know this dude, but at least the other one is. Let me not get into that. But listen to what he said. And see, when you're like this guy who had to defend George Floyd, he has to defend his proverbial black card. So he can't come out and tell the truth about Ja Morant. He got to come out and simp and lie for him and make it seem like his what he did was nothing wrong with it. But Charles Barkley gonna show you what a real representation of a mature man is. But let me play his clip and then we're gonna go to Charles.
What up, world? Well, some quick, since a lot of y'all don't have no comprehension. My brother died. I called Ja to call my little nephew because my nephew want to be just like him. Ja called him, showed him some love. I want him to be like Ja, but I don't want my little nephew to be holding guns and thinking holding guns is cool. So Ja deserves all the punishment he's going to get, all that. He has to be held accountable. But we have to make it make sense. ESPN, and it was a couple games where the Memphis Grizzlies was coming out and they playing these same songs, making the gun signs to the camera and marching out, getting ready to go play that game, and it was all cool. The NBA, every event, you have these same rappers rapping these same lyrics about guns and shooting at all your events. Just make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yes, Ja need to be held accountable. Holding guns and all that is not cool. I don't do it. I don't stand for it. I don't support it. But at the same time, make it make sense.
All right, so let me say this. I'll take back what I said about him completely defending Ja. I'll take that part back because it seemed like he kind of tried to say that he should be held accountable. But then he go off and then he fall off the cliff and say, well, the NBA is playing rap music and they got guns. Hey, bro, there's a difference between a finger gun and a real gun. I ain't never seen a person die with a finger gun. I've never seen a person die from a lyric. I see people pulling guns and shooting people with real guns. That's how you really die. You shouldn't be talking about nothing about music played by the NBA because the people want them to play the music. Some of the players request to come out to those songs. And they the dummies doing all this. But there's a difference between doing all this and pulling out a real gun and having a gun at a strip club and pulling a gun on a teenager over a basketball game. You telling me the dude hit you in the face with a ball, you pull a gun out on him? That's self-defense? A 16-year-old, you pull a gun out on him. Now, I don't know Ja Morant's situation, and the kid probably didn't want to press charges, and because he's a millionaire, they probably didn't want to do nothing about it. And Ja Morant may be a good kid, but the stuff that he's doing is completely stupid. So let me move on. Let me get Charles Barkley on here because out of all the people that's talking, Charles Barkley is the only one to me that's unafraid to tell the truth. Charles, roll the clip.
I got to say something, man. We got some idiots, some fools, some jackasses on television that really just piss me off. Talking about Ja should make a stand saying he didn't break any laws. He didn't do anything wrong. We're in a state where you can carry your gun. Those guys are just freaking idiots. And I only say freaking because y'all won't let me say what I want to say.
We don't care for it.
It pisses me off when I hear guys say that, yo, man, when you're making $100 million a year to play sports, your life changes. There are certain rules and regulations you have to live by, plain and simple. You can't do stupid stuff. That's the trade-off. Now, if you want to do all that stuff and give all that money back, more power to you. You can make that stand. Say, you know what? I want to do what I want to do. I want to flash my gun and make videos and do things. Okay, that's fine. But you can't make money on the NBA doing this stuff. I just hope that he grows up and realizes, like, yo, man, first of all, you're not a thug. You're not a criminal. You're not a crook. You're a guy making $100 million a year to dribble a stupid, $200 million to dribble a stupid basketball. And you hit the lottery. We all hit the lottery to do something. There's people out there work 9 to 5, 8 and 9 hours a week, gonna make $25,000 a year. They would kill to be in our situation. And, you know, Kenny's right. At some point, it's not your friends. Bill Parcells used to always say, and I love it, he says, yo, man, you just an unlucky dude. Bad stuff happen around you all the time. You just an unlucky dude. No, man. You got to look in the mirror and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem. And it's disappointing because the kid's a great player, but to be a fool already, then be a bigger fool a couple months later, and this is like your fifth or sixth gun thing. And like I say, hey, I'm a gun guy. But I don't understand why you're flashing it. My bodyguard teaching me, man, if you touch your gun, you better shoot somebody. It ain't for everybody to know you got. And he riding around with, I guess he think he with Antoine Fuqua and Steven Spielberg. You got your friends, quote, friends filming you. They're idiots too. And I'm just sad, Ernie, because it's a bad look.
Now, the other people come in and chime in and give their statements, but you know, nobody said it like Charles Barkley. It's just crazy to me, man. You know, of course I say things and it gets, you know, people, you know, I feel like it's funny because when I'm on the camera, I get very heated and upset. And sometimes I disregard the fact that these are real people. And I admit to that. I admit that in person, when I do events, I feel like I'm not as angry and I don't go as crazy as I do on these videos. But it makes me incredibly upset that we don't have enough leadership in our culture to say, this young brother, this ain't right. You are foolish to be flashing guns multiple times, risking suspension and getting in trouble when you just signed a $200 million contract, brother. There's no excuse for this behavior. Where are the real men going to sit up and tell it? You don't need to blame the NBA. I don't give a what the NBA music they playing. You don't blame the NBA, bro. You put the gun in your holster or in your pocket when you got in the car. Why, bro? Leave the gun at home if you can't keep your stuff together. Because you're going to end up doing this. Somebody going to try you in public, and you're going to end up shooting somebody and go to prison. Leave your gun at home. Hire you some people that got guns to protect you. If you ain't smart enough not to get into no gunplay situation. Therefore, the people who are guarding you and supporting you can get the shooting if it happened. You ain't got to do nobody. You clean, bruh. If I had that much money, I wouldn't carry a gun around with me all the time. I wouldn't. I carry it now because I'm me, bro. I might have to pull it. I might have to pull it on somebody on the way home tonight. But man, if I was just me, I have a bodyguard. Bodyguard walk around. You carry a gun, man. I'm not. That thing hurt my hip. You carry a gun. You carry a big old gun under that jacket. Therefore, I can just be chilling. I go to a restaurant. My bodyguard standing back there holding a gun. I'm in the restaurant with my family drink me an old fashioned. Got all that money, man. Give a man an opportunity by being your bodyguard, because you ain't smart enough to realize you ain't a gangster. It ain't even cool being a gangster. All that gunplay stuff that Ja Morant, these young boys be doing, that stuff is cool until somebody getting your booty in jail. It's cute until you in jail for a long time and you in there getting raped. Now, I mean, can I keep it real? My homeboy did 19 years in prison, told me the dudes should be screaming at night. He hear dudes screaming all night, getting raped in there. Man, that's horrible, bro. And you living in a mansion with your feet up in an infinity pool overlooking the mountains somewhere. And you don't even hear traffic, bro. All you hear is cool breeze. You got enough money to have people cook food for you, rub your feet every day. Man, if I had enough money, I would get a massage every day after work. Somebody just massage my legs and everything after work every day. These boys got money like that and can get more money in endorsements. And if they build businesses and they buy real estate and stuff with the money, they can be worth a lot of money. Why are you flashing guns and thugging? Who is telling these young boys? But the rappers and stuff won't come to these young men and say, man, they may do it behind the scenes, but by and large, they won't come to them and say, man, cool your jets, man. You finna mess it all up when you can get everybody out the hood. You the one made it. Help us out, brother, and not throw us under the bus. I will talk more on the next video.